Hello, dears. Let's learn about the boundaries of exchange rate determination. The two famous models related to this are Larson and Gonetz, which was further put forward in a simple manner by Kohn and Nielsen. We will look into their models. Before that, let's see the basic aspects of that. While we are exchanging one firm to another, or there is an existent exchange rate between two firms. This should be the case. P12, that thing after merger, should be greater than P1. That is, market price of the original firm should be lesser than, or the market price of the combined firm, which is P12, should be definitely greater than the previous existent firm before merger. Now let's see the market price per share. It's very easy to find it out. We should first know the price to earnings ratio. What is the price to earnings ratio? Market price divided by earnings per share. That ratio into earnings per share of the combined firm will give us the market price per share of the combined firm. Now let's see the earnings per share of the combined firm. How to find it out? E1 plus E2 divided by S1 plus S2 into ER1. E1 plus E2 is the earnings of the first firm plus earnings of the second firm divided by the share of the first firm plus the share of the second firm. That is total earnings divided by total number of shares. But be careful, in the denominator, we should multiply the denominator with ER, the exchange rate ratio. What is it? How many shares of firm 1 are issued in lieu of one share of firm 2? That is, in order to acquire this firm 2, how many shares are issued by firm 1? That is E12. So that will give us what? The earnings per, the combined earnings per share of the new firm. Now let us go into P1. What is P1? P1 is price of the firm 1, that is original firm. That is PE12, that is price to earnings per share, share ratio of the combined firm into earnings of the first firm plus earnings of the second firm divided by total number of shares S1 plus S2 into ER1. All of you got this? That is, we have already told, in order to understand the market price, the combined firm, we should multiply it by P by E ratio with earnings per share of the combined firm, isn't it? But here we are taking out the combined firm's earning per share, individual firms earnings per share is multiplied with that divided by S1 plus S2 into ER1 into the exchange rate ratio. That will give us the market price of the firm 1, not of the combined firm. Okay. Have we got the difference? Now let us move to, from this we can derive this formula ER1. That is S1 minus S1 by S2 plus E1 plus E2 into PE12 by P1 P1 S2. That is, in order to understand the exchange rate ratio of the firm 1, how many shares should be issued by the firm 1 for the firm 2? In order to understand that, we can divide the number of shares of the firm 1 divided by the number of shares of firm 2 plus earnings of firm 1 plus earnings of firm 2 into the P by E ratio of the combined firm by divided by market price of the first firm into number of shares of the second firm. So these things will be unknown, ER1 as well as PE1 too. So we can give an arbitrary value for this and find this exchange rate ratio. That way also we can find it. And this is how we will find the boundaries of exchange rate determination. The problem related to this and one more model related to this will be explained in the next class.